about time.
Hi guys, happy Black History Month, or the day before Black History Month because I am recording this a little bit early, or a couple of months after Black History Month because depending on when you guys decide you wanted to watch this video, or happy Black History Month 2026 because we know the YouTube algorithm really hates suggesting our videos. But either way, every day should be a day we should be celebrating Black History Month. And with Anthony Mackie starring in the new Captain America Brave New World film that's getting ready to come out, I mean, I guess depending on when you watch the video, it may be out already. This would be a perfect time, I thought, to celebrate Black superheroes in live action. Now, I would normally go ahead and start with the men since Captain America is getting ready to come out, but I figured this would be a great opportunity to make it ladies first and start with the Black women who are superheroes in live action film. Especially since we've been seeing a big movement and shift in actually putting women in the forefront, especially in comic book movies, showing them as superheroes. So I figured let's go ahead and talk about my list of the top 5 Black women in superhero live action. That's going to be a long title I'm going to have to put on YouTube. I'm going to have to figure out how to shorten that down. But either way, we're going to talk about this list. The list doesn't have a lot of names. Like I said, the movement just started. So we're really going to have to pick and choose the stuff that we all know from, I won't say different generations, but maybe not your specific generation of superheroes, maybe older generation of superheroes. I want to say mine and call myself old at the same time, but because I encompass them all. But it may not be something that you might be completely familiar with if you're young, but if you're an older side, you should know these particular characters and actresses that played these particular characters. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're gonna start with number 5. In number 5, what did I go with? I went with Megan Good. She played Darla, one of the Shazam kids in both Shazam 1 and Shazam Fury of the Gods. I mean, there's a lot more I can say about those movies, but we're just gonna stick with Megan Good and how great she did in the role. Look, her character playing Darla was probably the closest thing to the Billy and Shazam character, because Zachary Levi plays obviously the adult version of Shazam, and he has to play it as if he was a kid in a man's body. The rest of the other Shazam kids don't play it that way. They kind of play it with as like, ooh, I just got superpowers. But Megan Good plays it the same way Zachary Levi does. She is a little child in the movie, or in the movies, but when Megan Good plays her, it's like a little child became an adult really quick and then got superpowers. So I love the way that she does it, and she has a great talent for her comedic timing. Even if you go back to like Anchorman, and I think she was in the sequel to Anchorman, if I'm not mistaken in that, correct? You guys can correct me in the comments, but she did a great job in that, and oh my god, is she beautiful. So I want to say, I forget the gentleman who is actually dating her right now, is actually engaged to her right now. Good, good on you. So I am very sad, though, is that her character won't be continuing and it won't be transitioning to anything else since that version of the DCU is dead. But I would like to see her play something else. But in this particular role, I think she did great. Unfortunately, it will no longer continue on. So that brings us up to number 4. Now, with number 4, and I don't know if this is gonna be like controversy or like people are gonna be like, oh, gasping, oh my god, I can't believe you put her this low. But I went with what is her name? Letitia Wright. I had to write down. Sometimes I forget these names, and you guys know. Playing Shuri / the female Black Panther from Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2. Look, in Black Panther 1, Shuri was her own particular character and actually did get some action scenes. Would you call that a black superhero? I probably wouldn't, but she actually became a black superhero when she took over the mantle of Black Panther. And that's kind of why I have her so low, is because she only just recently became a superhero, and it doesn't look like they're going to continue on with her character. Though, I will say she had huge shoes to fill in Chadwick Boseman. So the fact that she was able to lead the film and kind of set herself as that particular character, even though I don't think it's going to continue on, kind of the way when she took over, how the sister took over in the comics for a brief period of time. I felt like she did this justice. There was other problems with that movie besides her being Black Panther, but I think she did an amazing job in the role, and the movie was great for 2/3 of the movie into that last third where they screwed the movie up. But not her fault, just the writing. All right. So that's going to bring me to number 3. Number 3, I went with Tessa Thompson playing Valkyrie in the Thor films. Look, in Thor 3, I absolutely fell in love with her. I think she did a great job as Valkyrie, and for you people who wanted the blonde white woman, I'm sorry. Tessa Thompson did amazing in the job and in the role. And so much so that when we got to Thor, Love and Thunder, I believe that's what the fourth one was called. It was Love and Crap because that movie wasn't good. But Tessa Thompson didn't do a bad job. She was just limited on her particular role. So I think what she did in Ragnarok was enough to secure her as Valkyrie. And they've not talked about like not continuing on her character. It seems like they're definitely going to bring her back for Secret Wars and maybe some other things involving Thor going forward. I don't think that at this particular point we need anybody else or recasting a replacement as Valkyrie, because I know there's supposed to be multiple of the Valkyries that come down when you're brought off to Valhalla. But I don't see this becoming a Lady Sif thing where they just kind of write her off. I think they're going to continue on with Tessa Thompson because she is so memorable in the role, and I think the fans want to continue to see her on. So that brings me to number 2. All right, so number 2. I went with, and I'm surprised I ranked it so high for her only to do this role one time, but I felt like she was such a big integral part of Deadpool 2, and that's Domino. Zazie Beetz playing Domino. Look, if you guys have watched ATL, you know how great an actress Zazie Beetz is. If you've watched, Invincible, with her doing the voice acting and the girlfriend, and every other thing that she's been in, she's done an amazing of everything that she's been in. And I think that even though that they did a different take on Domino with her kind of not being an assassin, and then not kind of switching it to Villa Lago with her skin having the circle on her eye. I thought it was a great twist that they did with her, but she was so charismatic and she had perfect timing with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool in that particular movie. And I was like, I was mad that she didn't show up in Deadpool and Wolverine. They brought back Shatterstar and Tom and everybody else. Who else is this? Like Colossus and Negasonic Tina. Look, they needed to bring back Domino. That was the only person that was missing from there, and probably the only one I really wanted to see. And I guess maybe Cable. But either way, Zazie Beetz, who did an amazing job. So if they do another Deadpool movie, please, 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 please bring her back to play to replay the role of Domino, because that's kind of what I want to see. I don't want to see a more comic version. I like Zazie Beetz' version of Domino. All right, so that brings me to number 1. All right, so number 1, I feel like everybody should know what number 1 is, and this is where I say there's different like generations of comic book movies. I'm gonna go with Halle Berry playing Storm. Look, I know we got Storm again, and I can't remember the young woman's name. I even interviewed her too. The young woman's name who played Storm. That's very sad on my part. I can't remember her name. But Halle Berry did an amazing job, at least in the first one. At least in the first one, before she lost the accent and she just said, screw it, I don't want to do the accent anymore. But she became somebody that's iconic to the particular role. So much so is that I know specifically when they bring back up Secret Wars, they're going to get her Halle Berry back to play Storm for another particular point, for another one, at least one more time. It's kind of have to be up there with Wesley Snipes playing Blade. I have to see Halle Berry get her ending to Storm. And for so long with comic book movies, X-Men is what we kind of went as the top level of comic books. I mean, besides Superman and Batman, as far as a team goes, that's what we look to as the modern revelation, or the modern iteration of superhero movies, is starting with Blade, obviously, but X-Men as well. And Storm kind of gave us exactly what we were looking for in that particular role. All right. Felt like I talked too long on it, and I skipped and I messed up and stumbled over my words, but we're going to go into honorable mentions. So, honorable mentions. Let's go back to Halle Berry. We're going to bring up Halle Berry, and this is kind of like a Razzie one, is Catwoman. I didn't hate the movie. It just wasn't completely Catwoman, but I still have to give her, I guess I have to give her her flowers for still portraying Catwoman in a different light. I know I talk so much about Michelle Pfeiffer, but this isn't the white woman superhero list because she would get the Catwoman vote. But either way, Halle Berry should still be at least acknowledged for playing Catwoman, her version of Catwoman, whatever that was. All right. Other honorable mentions I have on here, Zoe Kravitz playing Catwoman. Jesus Christ. I think she did a great job. I just don't think that she had enough as Catwoman. She spent so much time as Selena Kyle that, I mean, I almost forget that she was Catwoman in it, except for like one scene, and then that extended, post thing that they did at the end of the movie, which went on forever with her leaving Batman. Who knows? But that's the only reason why I couldn't put her on, because I felt like she wasn't Catwoman long enough. She was Selena Kyle for like 90% of the movie, and then, oh yeah, I'm kind of Catwoman at the same time. And then the other one that I put on here, it's gonna be Teyonah Parris. Sorry, I had to write her name out because I could not remember her name for the life of me. And if you're looking behind me, that's gonna be Monica Rambeau for I guess for WandaVision and then the Marvels, and still kind of in the Marvel cinematic universe right now. Who knows what they're gonna do with that particular character? But I mean, if you look at it, Monica Rambeau, kind of Captain Marvel, also Spectrum, also Photon, but I think her mom played Photon. Either way. But the character she plays for Monica Rambeau has had many iterations of nicknames and superhero names. I felt like I would have included her on the list, but I didn't like that movie. That movie was not, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good enough for me to put on the list. So that's why she's honorable mention. And she's kind of like the 5A on the list, I guess, if I want to put it that way. Look, I know there is not a lot of black women in superheroes. Hopefully we get to see more of them going forward. It's maybe 2026 by the time you guys actually see this film, this video. But with that being said, you guys put your list of black superheroes in live action that are women in the comments below. Sorry, that title is going to be crazy. And if this is the first time on the channel, make sure you subscribe as well as click the notification button so that way you're aware of all the other videos that come out. I will go back and do black men superheroes in live action coming forward, probably in the next week or so. So we can go ahead and go over that one. I guess you guys kind of know who I'm going to put on here. Probably Blade. But either way, go ahead and subscribe and then comment and tell me what your list looks like. So that being said, you guys take care.